Welcome to EPG Pathshala. In the paper Web Application Development using PHP, today I am going to deliver a session on built-in number and date function. As we are aware that number can be either integer or floating value. Integer number stores the whole number and the number can have positive sign or negative sign. If the sign is omitted, then the number is positive, means it is optional. We can say fraction number or floating number is also known as a double or real number or decimal number. This number is used to store any value. The value for integer number is also very large, like the range for integer number is -2147483647 to positive 2147483647, and fraction number has a large value. If the number is very large, it can be represented by exponential form. The general way to represent exponential form is first you write mantissa, then e, and then you write exponent. Mantissa can be either integer or float, but the exponent part is always integer value. Say for example, if you write 3.e4, that means 3.5 multiply 10 raised to 4. 3.5e4, it means 3.5 multiply 10 raised to 4. Same way 3.5e minus 2, that means 3.2 into 10 raised to minus 2. So it can store very large number. The range for I would say that for exponent is minus 307 to plus 308, and you can exponent sign as a mantissa determine overall number is either positive or negative. If the number is outside range of double range, then it will be treated as a infinite, and it can be positive or negative, and it is represented by constant name INF. So negative infinity is represented by constant name minus INF, and if you divide anyone divided by infinite, then it will return 0. Let me take some example to understand this value. So let me open my notepad file. So here I open my notepad file, and let us start to write simple PHP coding. So here I write starting PHP tag and closing PHP tag, file, save as, and I would like to save this file on my WAMP folder at www.epg, and here I create new folder, give this folder name is number to store number function, and let me give it name 1 number.php. So here I define $max. The maximum value is represented by constant php underscore int underscore max. Let me present this value echo br maximum positive value is colon, and let me write, or I can use interpolation $max. So I don't need to provide concatenation by providing dot and then write the variable name. Let me start my WAMP server to show the value. This is the maximum value for any integer number that we can get it. So WAMP server is start. It is changed from red to green now. Now I can run the code for the same. So this is the value 2147483647. So this is the maximum value, or you can check for $mean is assigned to php underscore int underscore mean for minimum value, or you can represent it by multiply 1, but maximum value it will be support. Now infinite you can represent as $inf as a constant inf. Let me print echo br, the infinite value is $INF. So it will represent infinite value. So let me save this one. If I refresh this page, it will return INF. And we know that if we multiply anything with infinite, let me represent dollar multiplication is 10 multiply dollar INF. So it will return equal, let me type BR 10 multiply, let me write here dollar INF is equal to dollar multiplication. So we know that multiplication with infinite is always infinite. Let me show this. So 10 into infinite is infinite. If I anything divide with infinite, so I write division is 10 divided by dollar INF and echo BR 10 divide dollar div is equal to dollar div. So anything divided by infinite is of course 0. So this should display 0 because 10 divided by, I write div, so it is represented as a div, or I write 10 divided by my variable div. So this div is actually treated or converted value as 0, that's why it represents this. And if any variable is infinite or not, for that there are built-in functions. This two functions is helpful to check whether the variable is infinite or not. Say for example, if I check test, so I write dollar answer is underscore infinite dollar multiplication, then I write this will return true. If this is infinite, then it will return true. Then I check if dollar answer is equal to true, then you can say echo BR answer is, or you can write dollar answer is infinite. Else echo BR dollar answer is not infinite, semicolon. So I just save this one. So we check dollar answer is infinite or not. Let me execute that. So it says 1 is infinite. The reason is it will return 1, or I can directly write dollar answer is 1 if is infinite here I can, or dollar answer we know that, so we can simply write if dollar answer is 1 or true, then I say dollar answer is infinite. So this means it is infinite. 1 is written because it is true. So these are the two functions to test whether the number is infinite or not. There are many built-in functions. Let us take one by one. So here I discuss one by one. The next function is ABS, to test whether the variable has absolute value or not. Say for example, I define $a is assigned to -2, and then I can say echo BR absolute value of A is, let me concatenate it, and the built-in function ABS $a. So we know that absolute will give magnitude. So here -2 means it will represent 2. So I refresh this. So absolute value of A is 2. Same way there is a cell and floor function. So cell function returns the value rounded up to the next highest integer number, while floor returns the value rounded to the next lowest integer number. Let me say for example, if I write $b is 3.49 and I write $cell is equal to cell $b and check echo BR $b is sold colon $sell. So 3.49, and it is next highest integer number, so it will be converted to 4 because it is 3.49. If I write $floor is assigned to floor $B, then I can write echo BR, $B is floored and its value is $floor. So it should display 3 because 3.49, so the floor value is 3. Here you can check for various values. Say for example, if there is a 3.51, of course cell will work in the cell and floor has no change, but this change will be reflected when I apply round function. So the next function is max and mean value. So let me write $max is assigned to max, and then I provide any value. Let's say write 10, 12, 25, 17 and 19, and then you can write echo BR, maximum value is $max. Same way you can check for mean is assigned to mean, and 10, 12, 25, 17 and 19, and you can type echo BR, minimum value is $mean. So that provide you maximum and minimum value of the parameter you have passed in the function. You can check maximum is 25 and minimum is 10. The next function is pi, which represents the value of pi. We know that pi is a irrational number, so you can check $pi is assigned to pi. This is actually one function, and you can type echo BR, value of pi is $pi. So this pi is a function that will represent value of pi. I have to save this file and now refresh it in the browser. So it is 3.14, but these all are significant digits that you can get it here. The next function is power function that will give you the power of any number. Let's say for example $power is assigned to power 2 raised to 3. So we know that 2 raised to 3 is 8. So you can write echo BR, power of 2 raised to 3 is $power. So it is 8. Okay, line 34, undefined function power. Okay, it is PO. The name of that function is $POV. So I have to just save this one and refresh this one. So it is 2 raised to 3 is 8. I have to write $POV. The next function is round. So it takes one compulsory parameter value and optional parameter precision. If precision is omitted, then this will be 0. But if precision is negative, then this function is rounded the whole number to that particular value, and if positive, then it will be provide that type of value. Let's say for example here I define $num is assigned to 1234.5678. Now I can say $round is assigned to round $num and up to 2 decimal point. So I will write echo BR, $num is rounded to 2 decimal point is $round. So it should be display 57 because 8, 7 these are greater than 5. That's why it should display 257. if here if I write 3, then it should display 5 6 because 3 is less than 5, so it should display 56. So now as I say is this is positive. If I put -2, that means it will consider this 2 value 3 4, so it is less than 50, so it is should display as a 1200. Let me show you, right? But if there is a 1534 and 1 2, let me write 5 4, so 5 4 is greater than 5. Even first let me show for 5 4, then you can check for 50 also, so it should be 1300. Even though there is a 0, it will be treated as a this value. But if it is 49 1249, so it is less than 50, so it will display 1200. So this is round, which will be again very helpful function, numeric function. Then you can use square root and empty random. This function is using random generation for Marnez-Twister function. Let me apply square root, so I directly write $sqrt is sqrt for, let's say for example 64, and I can say echo br square root for 64 is $sqrt. So I have saved this file and execute this. So square root 64 is 8, and you can apply $empty is, the function is empty underscore rand for random value. So empty underscore rand takes two parameter, minimum value and maximum. Let's say for example for dice there is a value between 1 to 6, so you can write empty echo br random value is $empty. So you can get each time random value. If I execute this, let me make zoom it so you can clearly visualize it. So this time it is 4, now it is 5 6 4 2 6, so any random value you can get 4, etc. So this all are number functions. The next point is typecasting. So sometime you may require that number is in one data type, let's say for example it is an integer and you want to convert into double, or number is in double and you want to convert into integer. So at that time the typecasting is helpful. Say for example, if let me create new file, I give this file name as a php and save this file as a file, save as 2 typecasting.php. So let me show demo of that one. Let's say for example $value is assigned to 31.8, and then you can say $int value is assigned to, now I want to convert into integer, so I will write into bracket int and $value, and let me display echo br value is $value and echo br int value and int value is, and let me write $int value. So I have saved this file. Let me show you this demo by run this file. So it is 31.8 is converted into 31. Same way, if your $variable 1 is assigned to 37 and only dot, and you write $float is assigned to, you can write here float $variable 1. Now you display echo br float is and $float. So save this, it should display 37.0. It is show 37. Let me display float values is not provided here, but though it is integer it will not display 37.0. because I write here 37.1 or 2, so float will be float. The next thing you have to remember in typecasting is that if there is a string and you want to convert it into integer or number, then what's happen? Let's say for example here I define $variable2 is assigned to, I define 37.6 degree Celsius or degree, I just simple write, and write $answer is assigned to, let me write float as it is float value $variable2 and write echo br answer is $answer. So though it is a string value, but you convert it, it will take only numeric value, so it should display 37.6. Whether you can write it in double quote or you can test for single quote as well, because it doesn't make much difference. So it is 37.6. Then if you write $variable3 is, let me write here degree 37.6, and now you convert it as a $answer2 is, again I check for float $variable3 and echo, let me write br degree is $answer2. I have to write answer2 ans2, so it is answer2. It should be 0 because first if there is a string it will be treated as a 0, so the degree is 0. So these all are typecasting example, and if value is too large then it will be not fit into data type, then it will be converted into integer. Say for example if you write $variable3 is assigned to, and you want to check echo br $variable3, so either it will display integer or it may display into exponent form. So this all you can apply with number. Now to display number in particular format, the sprint function is used, and it takes 2 parameter minimum. The first one is format, which is, and then second one is you can provide value, and the format parameter can take only few value like S, D and F. S for string, D for integer, F for double or decimal. For character you can use C, for binary you can use S, D and F. Only this 3 value you can take. Say for example if there is a written $message is this and you want to print this, let me show by example. So here I write sprintf and message, and then I run it, so it will display. I haven't saved this file, let me first save this file and refresh this one, so it will display the book on PHP has 453 pages. So it is all about sprintf function. Let's move to the next point. So let me show some of this again demo for sprintf function. So here I create one file. Let me just demonstrate that sprintf.php. The first one I have taken. Then if you use %c, so it will be show character value, and we know that 65 is A. You can write 42 with 6 decimal places. Let me run this, then you can get idea. So ASCII character of 65 is this. The value 42 padded with 6 0. If you, for that you have to write %06d to represent in 2 date month format. You can write 02d -02d and 4d, so it will return date as this format, and the value in hexadecimal format or floating point, that value you can use 062f. That means total 6 digit including the dot out of 2 will be after decimal place. So these are the various format that you can use with sprintf function. You can use %x also. Let me write $s5 is equal to sprintf, and I can write %x and value is 1 2, let me write 248. So in hexadecimal it will display echo BR hexadecimal value of 248 is $S5. So this will represent, this value is F8, because we know that in hexadecimal number base is 15. If I use capital X, then it will display in capital format, or you can represent in binary value also by providing %B. Say for example, if I write %B and 65 and I write binary value of 65 is, so we know that 1, then all are 0 up to the 1 digit. So this is in binary, this is 65. So this is about sprintf function. Now let's move to the date function. So in date function I will cover about date function, date time object and its function, and date interval object and its function. So PHP is used timestamp to display date and time. Now this timestamp is use an integer to store number of seconds passed since midnight on January 1st 1970 Greenwich time, and this point of time is known as a Unix epoch, and timestamp is stored as a 32-bit signed integer number by most systems in the world. So it can store range value from December 13 1901 to January 19 2038. So the problem is that when if any system reaches at that point, after that it will be considered as a 1901. So this problem is very similar to the problem faced as a Y2K. So this problem is also known as a Y2K 38, because after 2038 you may have that type of problem. And one solution to solve that problem is that you can using date time object to store date. Now let's, the first useful function is date function. So the date function is create and format timestamp is date, the syntax is date, you provide $format and optionally timestamp. If you not provide timestamp, it will be take the current timestamp. Let's say for example we create one date function, and these all are various format options available for date. If you write J, so it will write day of month without leading zeros, D small, so it will be day of month with leading 0, capital D for day of week in 3 letter, L, N, M, etc. Let me write one example of that. So here I will create new file in PHP. So save this file, let me save this file, save as, and create new folder in EPG and give that folder name as a date. In date, here I create one date.php. So here you can write $date is assigned to date, and the format is, here I write, I want to display today is month, day, and okay, first let me write that way so you get idea, DMY, and write echo BR today is, though I haven't correct because it is 2015 but I store as a 16, I write $date, so it will be display according to the date and time set on my server. So let me open this file to execute it. I move to the EPG and the folder is date.php, so it will display 24 June 2016. Right here it display only 16. If I want to display in capital, I have a 4-letter year, then I have to use capital Y. Say for example if I represent here, so it will display that way. Let me write echo, okay, let me write $date2 is assigned to date, and I can write capital M for month name as 3 character, D capital S for providing prefix like 24th etc, comma capital Y hour colon minute AM or PM and write echo BR date 2 is and $date 2. So save this file and let me show you. So it will display date, time and AM PM also. So these all are various format available for date. There are lots of format available as I provided here. You can use H, capital H for 24-hour format with leading 0, small h for 24-hour format without leading 0, small g for 12-hour format, I for minute, S for second, A or PM, capital and lowercase, and U for second since Unix epoch. Now there are some built-in functions which work with timestamp. So let me show this one. This the first function is time, which returns the current date and time as a timestamp. Say for example, let me create $time is assigned to time, and I can say echo BR time is $time. So save this one. So it will represent timestamp. This is the number of seconds passed since January 1st, 1970, as I say there, and this doesn't take any parameter. You can use make time to return timestamp based on the parameter you pass. You can also use check date function to check whether it is a correct date or not. Say for example, you can write $check is assigned to check date and it will take month. So let me provide 2, day is 29 and year is 2015, and I write echo BR check is $check. Save this value, execute this. So this is not the correct date, that's why it returns 0 or doesn't display anything, null value. But if I make 28, it should return 1 because it is the correct value, and you can see that value of timestamp is pass as number of seconds is passes there. So this all are, you can same way use make time to and get that to return an array having parts of timestamp. If timestamp is omitted, it will return current date and time. Say for example, you can check echo BR get date is dot get date, and it will return timestamp or date of 2 days. This is array, so you cannot write it that way. Let me use here the function doesn't take any parameter but it returns an array, so I can write print underscore r, as we know that this is the one function which is used to display any of that value. So I have just saved this file, open this and run it. So it is a second is this, minute is this, hour, day, working day, month, year, weekday, Friday, month is this, and this is the timestamp. So these all are built-in functions that you can work with it. This is again example. You can check $DT is okay, I have date time here, string to, then another function is string to time function. So string to time is a function which is used to convert string into time. These are the some of the example. Let me just show you by example. Let me write string to time plus 1 hour. So here I just paste that one and write string to time echo BR after 1 hour it is date 4. And what is current value? For that, let me write $current is assigned to date, and I have to provide any timestamp or any timestamp value. But if I not provide, let me write simply time. So this will represent the timestamp. So let me write echo and br current is $current, and here I write string to time plus 1 hour. So save this file. Let me run this one. So look at here the difference between these two value, 82048 and 85648. So we know that 33,600 seconds within 1 hour difference. So you can check the value by using that functions. So these all are built-in functions that we can use for string to time, and it takes -2 days, next Sunday, etc. this value. Then the DATETIME class is used to work with date and time using object oriented way. To create DATETIME object, pass any string to date and time, and the constructor, the string pass constructor, which is any string accepted by string to time function. The general syntax is very similar, and these all are again functions that can be used with date and time. Let me show one example. Say for example, here I write dollar, let me comment as date time, and I write $dt is new date time. So it will take this one, then $dt and format. So to provide format the same, let's say I write dm and y. This is my format, or I can write echo directly dt $format. Save this one. Let me demonstrate it by execute it. Okay, I provide one br here to get idea. Echo br dt is br. So it will display its value, and here the value is in the form of this one. You can provide any format by providing this format function. Then you can use set date function to set date. Say for example, let me write $dt and set date, and it takes 3 parameters. First you have to provide year, month and date. So you can write 2016, month is let's say May, and date is 21st. Now you write echo br $dt and format. The format will again, let me write dms, y, hour, minute and am or pm. So save this one. So it will display the particular date is May 21st 2016 5:32 p.m. because I haven't represent date and time. Same way you can use set time, get timestamp to get current light. You can write echo br current timestamp is dot get timestamp. So this is the built-in function that will give you timestamp. T is capital, so I have to write here get timestamp semicolon. Save this one and execute this one. Let me write $dt and get timestamp here because I haven't write object, that's why it shows error. So that will return current timestamp. So these are built-in functions that you can work with this one. Then this is again, I take all this format and option you can use new date and any of that format to represent this value. Now this is one good example. Let me just show you by providing. So here I make copy paste to give idea about that one, and let me save this. So this will actually return, create one variable invoice date is using datetime object and provide date, year, month, year, and date and time both, and then we create clone of that, and then we use format, and then you can use modify function, because this there is a modify function is also available. So if you modify and write plus 4 weeks, so it will return that particular value. Let me save this file and execute this one. So invoice date is March 23 and after 4 weeks it is April 20. So this is some useful function that you can use with this, and this OLR function will be very helpful to you. Same way you can check for tomorrow and all this value. Now the next point is date interval class. So this is used to represent span of time, and the syntax is new date interval, and you can provide $string. The string must start with P for period of time, and it can take T to represent period of time. These are some of the example that I have shown here. If you write P for begin interval code, if you write P 2Y, that means it is 2 year. If you write P3M, that means 3 months. P2Y 6M, that means 2 years 6 months a number of span. Same way number of weeks, number of days, etc. This is one example. If you write new date interval P30D, so it will store interval of 30D, and when you print it, it will show this is one array, the value it store. You can write new date interval P1Y23D, so 1 year 23 days. PT1 H2 M12, that means 1 hour 2 minute and 12 second, and you can provide P and T both combine also when you assign is. And to display interval format function, the format function is used, and it has following syntax, and the code for this one is %R for sign of interval, %Y for year, %M for months, %D for days. Same way for minute, hour, minute and second is H, I and S. This is one example, so that will represent that way. And now you can use date interval and date time class together, and these are the some functions that will be helpful to that. You can use $8 interval to add $interval time, sub $interval to use subtract the interval time, and difference to differentiate that. Let's take one example of this one. So here I create new file by writing PHP and PHP. Let me write $voting is assigned to new date interval and P18Y. So I save this file, save as, let me create 2, and I check is for display voting age dot php. So I save this one, then I define $dob is assigned to new date time. So this is create one object. Now the function can be helpful is subtract, so I can write $dob and sub $voting. Let me create $answer is assigned to this, and I can write echo br to vote you must be born on or before $answer. Let me save this one and let me run this code. So it says object of class cannot be converted to string on line 5. Okay, so I have to provide $answer. Let me directly write this one, dot and this. Save this one execute this. Okay, it is not converted, so I have to provide by formatting. So let me write $answer is this, and here I have to write $dob, and so not you have to write sub, but you can write $dob and format, and let me provide format here day, month, year. So I just save this file because I have to use object, and let me run this now. So it says to vote you must be born on or before 24 June 1998, because here I define is 18. Let's say if I define here 21, then it will calculate that way, but we know that for voting in our country the age is 18 year. You should be greater than or equal to 18 year. So that way you can combine both this function. This is the example I have taken. So let's summarize. First we take number function, and then we discuss for date, time, timestamp, then date functions and formatting, string to time function, date time object and its function, date interval and its function, and how you can use date time and date interval works together. There are again many functions available. These all are few references that I have used, and thank you for watching this lecture.